I'm back. Oh, let me see. Wait. Whoa. Do I see what's going on? Let me check my stuff. Up. Am I on? Yes, I am. I can't hear myself though. That's the problem. Slow up. Give me a second to work out these technical difficulties. Yo. Oh, there we go. Now I can hear myself. Yo. Oh, yeah, we got action. Your boy is back. Back on the scene, fresh out of YouTube prison. They had me locked up for about a week, y'all. But we didn't snitch. We held it down. You know what I'm saying? We held it down when he was locked up. You know what I'm saying? We held it down. Didn't give up no information. Didn't crack, didn't fold. Wasn't in there whining and crying. You know what I'm saying? Didn't ask to go to PC. We stood up like G's. You know what I'm saying? We did our time. We did our stretch. But we back now, baby. Ears to the street. Welcome. I am your host. Let me rewind it. Welcome to Ears to the Street Media, where fact and entertainment meet. I am your host, HG. Thank you for tuning in, logging on, rocking with your boy. We got some stuff to discuss. See, that's what happens when you fresh out of jail. You don't know how to bag up no more. Got the mics falling. You don't know how to bag up no more. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You gotta get your shit back. Community strike. And when I got it, I was like, damn, because they hit me for a video. They hit me for a video that I did maybe like 2 weeks ago, like 2 weeks before the strike. And I'm like, man, like, shit. But I see where I messed up at, because I put the wrong word in the title. I'm assuming that's what it is. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Once you because the video was about the derailments and about the chemicals. That's basically, we've been having a lot of train derailments, a lot of chemical fires, I guess you could say, whether it be factory train derailments. A lot of spillage. And this stuff affects the ecosystem. So I talked about it, but I named it a certain way, and I put a certain word in there, and I think that's what got me flagged. So they they did what they had to do. YouTube CEOs, but nonetheless, we're back. We got some things to discuss. As you can see, the title: Cease and Desist. Coming back from Georgia. Went out there to do some things, get my car registration, get all that, out the way. Had a couple other moves to make, people to holler at. And what's crazy is that I actually went to my lawyer's office, discussed a certain matter regarding someone who owes me money that I did work for, owes me money. And just trying to see, okay, what can we do about this? They owe me money. It's going on about a year now. maybe more if you want to consider some of the other situations and work that was done. I'm like, oh man, like, you know, just let me talk to a lawyer and see, what can be done about this, because even though it's chump change, strictly chump change, you know what I'm saying? But it's my chump change, and I need that. So, but regardless of that, I get home, check my emails, and I got a cease and desist in my emails. And I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, okay, at least we on the same page, because I just came from talking to a lawyer in Georgia, traveled back to Birmingham, and I look through my email and I see, oh goddamn, I got a legal notification. I open it up, hit the PDF, and lo and behold, a cease and desist. Now I'm not gonna go into details. I'm not gonna jeopardize a slam dunk. I'm not gonna jeopardize my slam dunk. I'll go through the proceedings. I'll keep it legal. You see what I'm saying? Even though I'll keep it legal. You see what I'm saying? I'll say that. We are in a digital age. Everything's being recorded. I'm recording myself right now, so everything can be held against you in a court of law. So, but it's crazy how you can be a team player, show up, show out, give an A+ performance, and if not an A+ performance, an A+ effort. Do everything you're asked. Never complain. Never talk behind someone's back. Offer help in multiple different ways. Financially, work-related help, time and energy. You can do all these things that are positive and upright and honorable, and still at the end of the day someone would try to shortchange you and then turn around and make it seem like you're doing something wrong and send you a cease and desist. And what's so crazy about, not to make this, because I don't want this, even though the things that we're talking about, this is ears to the street. You know how I get down. Like, yes, we're going into, you see the title, Netflix Descendant, Nuri Muhammad's speech that I attended last week. So, we're getting into it. And this is just part of it. I guess this would be more of the entertainment part right here, but you can do all these things. Team player. I mean, I was there on the spot. Anything you needed me to do. Oh, HG, could you do this? HG, meet us down here at this time. Oh, HG, be on set at 4 a.m. Have to wait 2 hours. People late. Then we get there. It's a half-ass shoot. Don't even use none of the footage from that shoot. But I was there on time. 4 a.m, 5 a.m. Had to go to my regular job. Plantation work, that shit. Had to go to that right after. So it's 4, 5 in the morning. People are late. 6, 7. Then got to be at work at 8 and do an 8 to 10 hour shift. Team player shit. And never complained. Took it like a G, like I always do. I'm not one of them guys that be whining and shit. Do what I gotta do. It is what it is. And move forward. And I get the cease and desist. Mm. And not only do I get a cease and desist, I get a detailed cease and desist, which I'm glad that they put what they put in it because it only helps my case. You see what I'm saying? Thank you. You know what I'm saying? You saved me some legwork. You know what I'm saying? Because now I would have had to go back into a lot of emails, which I'm still going to do. You know, I've already started separating everything, the contracts, you know, everything's being separated, all the times, you know, all the phone conversations, all the text messages, all these things are being detailed as we speak. You know, now I'm just going through my phone like, boom, put it in a file, put it in a file, put that in a file. So, I'm glad that you detailed the cease and desist how you did. Save me, you know, it didn't save me any more work, but it's like you admitted everything that I've already been saying. So thank you. You know, I appreciate that. But you know, it's just amazing how honorable, good work ethic, team player camaraderie isn't rewarded with fair compensation. Now, we're not going to even talk about the work that I did and how these particular productions turned out. You know, that's not on me. I just know when I came, I gave A plus work. And if in your opinion it wasn't A plus work, it was definitely A plus effort. And if it wasn't A plus work, all you had to do is say, stop, let's do another take. You see? So, coming from Georgia, got that in the email. I was like, oh, here we go with this. You know what I'm saying? Nonetheless, I'll go through the legal motions. And we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. You know, it's pretty much a slam dunk, but still in all, anytime when you're dealing with court proceedings, you know, there's always going to be some financial expenses. You know, whether or not the odds are in your favor or not. But, you know, you got to do what you got to do. You know, to start off in my acting, within my acting creativity bag, you know, my acting bag, you know, to have to go through this on my first introduction into the game is crazy. You see what I'm saying? And now, and this is what's crazy about it, because, you know, we've heard all these stories about the music business, movie business, really so much more the music business, but you hear about the movie business too, is how, you know, these actors and artists, you know, they basically, you know, they do the work, whatever, but they end up, you know, not getting fair compensation. You know, never getting paid. You know, people finding all type of loopholes to where they won't pay people, using multiple different companies to in a sense, it's kind of like money laundering in a sense. You know, just hiding, just trying to disguise business transactions, you know, with different business entities, to where they can just kind of finesse not paying people, or finesse how money is being transacted, you know, maybe for tax purposes. You know, it's just all type of finesse maneuvers, you know. And you know, when it comes, me personally, like, I'm not going to say that. I would say that, but, you know, I would say that, like, if I was going in on some other shit. But right now, I ain't going to say what I was going to say. So finesse how you want to finesse, but you ain't going to finesse HG. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you You can fool a fool, but you can't game a gamer. You know what I'm saying? We've been here before. So, and then that's the thing. Like usually in these type of situations, and this is something I gotta respect about Dame Dash because he said it on multiple occasions. You get into these situations where you're dealing with like, what's the proper word to use? When you're dealing with like corny motherfuckers, and you dealing with corny motherfuckers that if they were from your environment, they wouldn't even do this because they would understand the repercussions of doing something like this. But since this is this isn't the environment that I come from, there's a different way this has to be played, and I'm willing to play it that way. We can waste time and do stupid shit and waste money and waste time. Got a little orange juice and Tito's iced all the way down. Turned 40 this year, so I have me a I went maybe in 2020. Yeah, 2020. I probably went like I would say like a full year without drinking. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a little less. I'll say a little less. You know what I'm saying? Like I went a significant amount of time without drinking. Due to some health issues. Kind of been bouncing back from them. Still not 100%, but I'm not far from 100%. I'll say right now, I would say like 85%, a strong 85%. So shit, I had me a little drink. I had me a little drink. You know what I'm saying? Very light though, very light. A little shot, iced up, a little juice. I normally wouldn't even put no juice in it because of the sugar. You know what I'm saying? Tito's is gluten free, but I mean it's still not good for you. It's fucking alcohol. But you know what I'm saying? Have me a little shot, kick it with y'all. Fresh out of YouTube jail. I appreciate y'all rocking with me. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. And I want to put this out here. My organization, One Nation. We got a lot of things brewing. I need you guys to support. I'm not going to go hard on what we doing right now because we're in the infrastructure stages of One Nation, my organization. And we got a lot of stuff to do. And, me and the team, we got a lot of stuff to do with just getting ready to really pound it out on the streets for the community. But I want you guys to be aware of this. I want you guys to be aware of what we're doing. So, make sure y'all stand behind Ears to the Street media, which is the media component to One Nation. See, people don't know because I'm the one doing it, but people don't understand the process in which I started this. One Nation wasn't something I just decided to do. I did things in a certain particular order. I thought it was important to establish the media aspect of One Nation. You know what I'm saying? Ears to the Street media is One Nation's media outlet. You see what I'm saying? Like, because media is where it's at. We're in a digital age. Everybody's on the internet. So that's what I did first. Established a media presence before getting into the organization. You see what I'm saying? But not to go too deep into that. I just want you guys to be on the lookout. So I'm getting off the cease and desist. I got the cease and desist in the email. I'll brief you guys as that go. I can't get too much into it because it is a legal matter. For me, it's a slam dunk. This person owes me money. I did all the work. I was a team player. I did everything I was asked to do. I never complained. I just don't understand. I understand it, but it's just a waste of time to have to go through this. Now I gotta, talk to the lawyers. I gotta, now it gotta be a court situation. I basically have to sue you. That's money out of my pocket, money that could be used toward, more important things. It's just a fucking waste of time and it's a hassle. But it's something that I'm willing to go through based off the principle. Because, you know, it's not fair. It's not fair for people who have dreams and aspirations to do something to run into someone who provides what you think may be a positive opportunity, and then you live up to your part of the negotiations of the opportunity, and you do everything that you were supposed to do, and you even do more than you were supposed to do. Being a team player, and then at the end of the day, these people don't want to compensate you fairly for the work that you did. You see what I'm saying? Like, come on. That's like all of us, like going to a regular 9 to 5. If you went to your job and you worked your 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, and then at the end of the week, you didn't get your check, it's like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I worked, I did the work, right? I remember clocking in. I remember y'all working me. I remember showing up on time. I did all that, right? So why you ain't got my check? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to hear investments and investors pulling out of the project and all that shit. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, that's your problem. You see what I'm saying? If you have a production and the shit don't pan out how you wanted to for your production, that don't mean I don't get paid. You know what I'm saying? That's on you. I want my motherfucking money. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be moving on past this. You know what I'm saying? Because it is a legal matter. And as you can see, I got a cease and desist in the mail. But I haven't mentioned any names and anything. So moving on. Netflix Descendants. Oh, man. I watched this today. It's crazy that we have so much history when it comes to slavery and bondage, and it's just a plethora of information that to this day that it's just still stories that's popping up. But one thing about these stories is that as time moves forward, these stories get lost. They've already been hidden from us, not only due to time, but due to the powers that be, if you want to say in a sense, basically sweeping all this stuff under the rug. It's just kind of like the situation if you have two opposing empires, I guess you can say, for lack of a better word, two opposing empires, and one is conquering the other one. One of the main things they do is they go through your village or they go through your city or your country, and they destroy your shit. They destroy your books. They destroy your statues. They destroy all that. And this has just and to let you know nothing has changed. See, when I say empires, you think back to, oh, you must be talking about some old stuff when it was Romans and all that shit, and Persians and all that. Yeah, I'm talking about that. But if you're knowledgeable or you do the research, you'll see that Russia just did the same thing to Ukraine. You know what I'm saying? This just happened. You know what I'm saying? They did the same thing. They went through Ukraine, and on top of destroying, key spots, like, they're gonna bomb your grocery store so you don't get food. They're gonna bomb They're gonna bomb your fuel plants, so there's no fuel. They're gonna bomb your communication centers. There's no that. You see what I'm saying? They do all that, but then they start wiping out shit that ain't even got nothing to do with war. Like, for one, they're wiping out your homes. The residential stuff in Ukraine, they wiping all that out. You see what I'm saying? But they get to destroying like libraries and shit. You know what I'm saying? Things that have nothing to do with anything, but it has something to do with something. Not that it doesn't have anything to do with anything, but it has something more so to do with your culture, in a sense. You see what I'm saying? They destroy your culture, and then as a people moving into the future, you don't have a past, so you can't even have pride in the type of people that you are and where you come from. And that's our story in America. Our history has been wiped from us. And people don't think that shit matters. Yes, it fucking do matters. That's why you got all these people now trying to, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It just is what it is. Some people are trying to hold on to whatever they can hold on to that gives them, a sense of belonging, or a sense of principle, or a sense of purpose, I should say. You have all these people trying to go back and identify with Kemetic culture. Everyone's from Egypt now. You know what I'm saying? Like, out of all the countries in the landmass of Egypt, everyone's from Kemet. Like, all of a sudden. And I get it. You know what I'm saying? I had a point in time where I was, and I've never gotten deep into it, like, on no crazy shit, but I had a point in time where I was, like, kind of looking more at the, Kemetic culture and just checking it out, and understanding some concepts that I think is some key concepts. You know what I'm saying? And important concepts. And there's nothing wrong with identifying with Kemet in no type of way. You see what I'm saying? But I'm just saying how we've had so much wiped from us, and more true information is coming out about Egyptian culture, Kemetic culture, and we just want to attach ourselves to it. You know what I'm saying? Because it is, one of the biggest civilizations or dynasty civilizations that existed, and a lot of core scientific, conceptual, spiritual things came from that particular time frame. You know what I'm saying? So there's nothing wrong with attaching yourself to it, but everybody didn't come from Kemet. Like, everyone's not a descendant from Kemet. You know what I'm saying? From Egypt. Like, there's no. Some of y'all came from, lower Africa, upper Africa. Some of you would argue that y'all don't come from Africa, and it is what it is. But my point being is that, with this documentary, Descendants, there's a story, and I don't want to give it all away. I want people to go on there, check it out, look at it yourselves, and come up with your own conclusion or what you think. For me, with me being in Alabama at the moment, and this taking place in Alabama, in Mobile, Alabama, which is, I think, is maybe 2 to 3 hours from where I am. But I just found it, it was an interesting thing. It's something I didn't know about this slave ship Clotilda that was kind of like one of the last slave ships to do a slave run after slave trading was abolished, I think in 1865. So, and this particular guy, this particular slave owner chose to do this last run kind of as we can still get away with it type thing. And then this whole thing has kind of snowballed into today's era, where the descendants of this particular neighborhood or county in Mobile, Alabama, these people want they're trying to find the slave ship because it was supposed to be burned. They're trying to get reparations because they can pinpoint that this happened. They can pinpoint who the slave master was, and then they can pinpoint the descendants of the slaves who were on the slave ship, linking it to them, to the current day. So with all this being said, reparations, they're trying to, and I gotta do the research and see if the museum, they're trying to put together a museum, you know what I'm saying? So the documentary, I think, came out like 2 years ago or something. It's a 2-year gap, so from now until then, you know what I'm saying, when it came out, to see, where the progress is. But I just found it fascinating, man, like all this lost history. And what's crazy about the whole situation is that these slave masters who own slaves till this day owns all the land in that area to this day. Now we talking about 1865. Well, we're talking about, okay, let's just say 1865. I'm thinking we're talking about a little bit before 1865, but 1865 is when the slave trade, to my knowledge, was made illegal. So at least from 1865 into 2023, you have slave masters and a slave master's family who still owns majority of the land down there. They own it all. Now they done switch names and put it into different names and put some shit on there. You know what I'm saying? Paperwork game. You know what I'm saying? This is what I just talked about with the cease and desist. With, people use multiple different business entities to hide their bullshit. You see what I'm saying? And these people, these slave owners, own all the land down there, sitting on it, won't sell it, just own it. And on top of that, they've built chemical factories. One is a lumber yard. They got a lumber yard for one. The lumber yard is trying to basically take over the land that the black descendants, the slave descendants, like acquire or are housed at or residents of, and they're trying to push them further out. You see what I'm saying? So you got this, you still have slave master descendants imposing their power upon the descendants of the slaves that they owned. Like, it's fucking crazy. And this is like, what is it, 2023. This happened, this is some 1865 shit. So 1965, that's 100 years. And then it's 2023. So 2065, that'd be 200 years. So right here you have 150 years of oppression still going on. It isn't slaves in chains no more, but it's still a form of oppression. And you had these people in Mobile, Alabama, and they fighting against this. They doing what they can. And it's sad because I'm listening to them. They like, we don't know what to do. We don't know what to do. We want to try to, and we don't know what to do. And it's like, God fucking damn. Like, that's like, and it's upsetting, it's disheartening because, you find, I see, and I'm one of them, I can't separate myself from the conversation. You just look and see the situation that a lot of us are in, and the only thing that a lot of us can say is we don't know what to do. And it's crazy. It's crazy how you can have, and this is just one story out of many. In the documentary, she goes to a museum, I think in Mississippi, and the person who's doing the what's the word I want to use? I guess like the narration in a sense. She's like the museum director who gives the tours, and as she's breaking down these stories that people don't know about in this museum, she says, and this right here is the blah 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 with the Tulsa, Oklahoma. They moved from here and they moved to Tulsa, and they had a library, they had a movie theater, they had grocery stores, and this is my family. And then the lady from Mobile, like, oh, this your people? She's like, yeah. And she's the director of the museum, if not more than the director. She probably has more stake in it, you know what I'm saying? But that's what she was doing at that particular time. You know what I'm saying? She was explaining the exhibits within the museum. And one of the stories was her people from Tulsa, you know what I'm saying? And that's what the Mobile people are trying to do, is to try to make it a tourist attraction in a sense, to where it can generate money and they get paid off of that, which is a great idea. The descendants of this particular slave story, benefit from the tourism from this attraction. You know what I'm saying? Because in the documentary, one of the people was saying that particular one, the particular slavery tourist site that the lady was narrating or whatever, or was the director of, was doing like $1 billion a year. They're doing like $1 billion a year. So shit, if they can get that started in Mobile, doing $1 billion a year, that's crazy income. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy income. You know what I'm saying? But it's just crazy, man. It's just crazy how you have a slave owner whose family is still reaping the benefits of slavery. And you got some black people out here who are under the false impression that, they're not still in some shape, form, or fashion affected by this. It's in a sense, it's kind of delusional. You see what I'm saying? Now, these people that live in Mobile, they have the ability. I don't want to say they have the ability. I believe they have the ability, but they have the freedom to, do whatever they want to do. You know what I'm saying? They can move, they could, travel, do whatever they want to do. But Mobile is their home. That's where their lineage is at. And they're not able to own any of the land down there, because this same slave master family owns a large percentage of it. They also, not only do the slave owners have majority of the land, they have a lumber yard down there that they're steady trying to push them out. Everyone doesn't want to move from, and this is not a bad thing, everyone doesn't want to move from where they consider home. Some people are okay with living in the area that they know to be home, and I don't really agree with that. I think it's a lot of world. I think you should see it, travel, go overseas, go some different states. You know what I'm saying? But I don't necessarily think there's a problem with always being able to go back to where you originally started from, and that's my home. You know what I'm saying? So in that regard, with these people, with these slave master descendants owning majority of the land and basically putting a stronghold on these people. You know what I'm saying? They got a factory down there that the slave descendants, the people of Mobile, the black people of Mobile, have been petitioning against, because since they put the chemical factory out there, the cancer numbers have went up. Like everybody that was on the documentary had cancer, or had some like was um were cancer patients who I guess it was in remission. They had some type of surgery, maybe got tumors cut out, boom, boom, boom. But based off the slave master descendants owning the lumber yard, owning the chemical factory, and the chemical factory being a chemical factory, polluting the air, polluting the air, polluting the air. A lot of the people in that vicinity, in that area, the fucking percentage of cancer is like out the roof. They've been trying to petition to get the chemical factory, going to court on it, all type of court cases, and they've been losing all of them. You see what I'm saying? Like, this is systemic racism. You got residents who been living here, our descendants going back to 1865, trying to not only find this slave ship that was burnt due to this illegal slave trade that took place after slave trading was abolished or deemed criminal. And it was deemed criminal. It was deemed criminal like to the extent of death. Like, if you got caught doing this, you die. You know what I'm saying? Like, the slave master did like a whole little plot, did the thing, got the slaves, took the slave ship like up by you somewhere, burnt it, lied to the officials, because the people was like, telling them like, oh, he did a slave trade. You know what I'm saying? 1865, he did a slave trade. They interviewed him. And they got the recordings, they got the documentation when they interviewed him, and he got his replies the way he said, boom, 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 da da da, lied about it, da 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 da. Then you got some people saying accounts where he took the boat up here and burned it, and they're looking for the remains. Now, they say they found the remains, but when I did a little bit more research, they said those weren't the remains. But in the documentary, the people are convinced those are the remains of the Clotilda, which was in the name of the slave ship that they did the thing on. So it's a crazy documentary. You gotta look at it for yourself and come up with your own determination. And then it got some real old footage, some real old 1920s footage of some of the earlier descendants of the Clotilda that were living at that time. It's a good documentary. It's a good documentary if you into that type of stuff. I'm into that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm always trying to find out more about my people and some of the stuff we've been through. It's always easy, and they mention this in the documentary, like, it's always easy just to forget. No one wants to deal with it. It's a headache. I'm tired. Like, no one wants to deal with this. You know what I'm saying? No one wants to deal with the fact that, you come from a people who have been subjugated. We want to pretend. We want to pretend like everything is all good when it ain't all good. It's better. Contact wise is better in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Physically is better in a sense. Mentally, I think is worse than ever. And then systematically, I think it's kind of, I ain't gonna say it's worse than ever, but it might be worse than ever. It's just a lot more. It's a lot more hidden. You know what I'm saying? It isn't in your face no more. So since it's not in your face, you know what I'm saying, you don't got nothing to swing at. You know what I'm saying? So, but check that out. Very good documentary. Definitely an eye opener. I did a post on my Instagram. I put a little put a little information about it on there. You know what I'm saying? A couple paragraphs. But let's get into this Nuri Muhammad speech. Man. Charismatic. Charismatic. Yeah. I've been studying prominent speakers. I remember, in high school, I used to I had speech class. We had to give different types of speeches, I can't remember the particular speeches, but there's a certain I was looking at Martin Luther King, and then I was looking at Hitler speeches. I just went to the Nuri Muhammad event and got to see him speak. Malcolm Farrakhan. Malcolm X, Louis Farrakhan. Great speakers, dynamic speakers. Very intelligent, charismatic, articulate. Speakers, and it's just a commendable thing to be able to communicate to the crowd like that. With Nuri, what I liked about his speech is he told a lot of jokes. Not a lot like comedian, like trying to be a comedian, but when making his points, he'll follow up with a joke. You see what I'm saying? So that was dope. Like, hit on some serious points and then hit them with a joke at the end. You know what I'm saying? So you kind of get this combination of seriousness, then it'll lighten you up, and then he'll go back in and lighten you up. You know what I'm saying? To try to keep you, not saying like he's doing this intentionally. He might, just be flowing. You know what I'm saying? But I just noticed that, because the way I'm perceiving things, the way I perceive things and how I'm, analyzing it and being analytical with it. But good speaker, very knowledgeable, down to earth speaker, which I think is dope. Sometimes you can get people who, can lose the crowd just based off their intellect, and you want to always make sure you connect with people. So that was dope that he was kind of a down to earth speaker. Was hitting you with some statistics, was hitting you with some facts. He was going in, and I got a little bit of it. I don't think I'm gonna post none of it though. I'll probably just keep it in my phone. I don't know, but he was going in on the on people and what they eat. And I don't know, y'all. I mean, I just think we at a point where, with it being a digital age, with this influx of information, we can't really, be on some no dumb shit no more. It's too much information right now to be dumb. Like, I'm sorry, like, you can't be dumb no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is where we at right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sorry. Like, back in the day, it was school, and then if your people had like a little bit of extra money, they could buy those Britannica encyclopedias for the house. You know what I'm saying? We had a few. You know what I'm saying? My mom was on that type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like she bought us books. We read coming up. You know what I'm saying? So, but she would buy the encyclopedias, the little blue small joints. You know what I'm saying? It was like series. You got A, B, C, D, E, F, G, F, and like it'll go through the whole woo wow. You know what I'm saying? So, we ain't had A through Z, but we probably had like, we'd have an A, B, C, and then we'd have an F, G, I. You know what I'm saying? So, we grew up looking at that shit. You know what I'm saying? But the information was scarce back then. That's my point. Like, it wasn't no fucking internet. So if you wanted to find out some exclusive information, you had to have access, and the only way you had access is through books. And you know, to my knowledge, everybody's household is different. In my household, if you ain't get it at school and from these like little things like she did, buying books and stuff like that, like you didn't get it. You just ain't know about it. But in 2023, all you got to do is Google anything you want to know. And you might get some misinformation here and there, but for the most part, you'll get if you do enough studying, you know what I'm saying, enough research, you'll get a well-rounded, factual foundation, or however you want to say it, the information that's good shit. You know what I'm saying? Something that you can run with. So it ain't really no excuse right now for like, not knowing shit if you have a particular interest in it. And with Nuri, in regards to the food, to bring it back around, he was throwing like some statistics out there with different fast food establishments and how many chemicals are in certain products that they sell. And he was just saying how, black people, we got to get on this. We got to get on this fruit and vegetable thing more. And it just is what it is, man. It's hard to do it. See, this is the thing. Like, and if you talk to people who have children, who started off as vegans, it isn't hard to be a vegan when you started off a vegan. You see what I'm saying? It's hard to be a vegan when you started off as a fucking carnivore. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? So we got to understand that. You know what I'm saying? And this goes for parents. You know what I'm saying? This goes for people who aren't parents, who, you know what I'm saying, are pushing this healthy eating thing too. But that's the tricky part, because you may have children who are used to the diet that you have, and then now you may be trying to make the transition, but it's harder to make the kids to make the transition. You know what I'm saying? Because you're older, you understand the importance of it. With them being younger, they just want to eat something that tastes good. So I know that could be a little tough right there. You know what I'm saying? I can imagine it being a little tough right there to try to curb their appetite to do that. And then I know it's tough for the adult to curb their appetite. You know what I'm saying? Because I'd be having issues with curbing my appetite. You know what I'm saying? So, but he was just driving in on basically, staying away from them places. And it's just a necessity. It's just something that we got to do, to speak on one of his points. You know what I'm saying? He talked about a lot of different things. One thing that he hit the crowd with, he hit the fellas with, and everybody in the air. And I looked at all the guys, you know what I'm saying? And I felt how I felt about it too, you know what I'm saying? But he, it was dope what he did though. But he was like, a real man opens up a door for a woman. You know what I'm saying? Then you got the women like, yeah, they clapping, yeah. Then the guys like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? We open doors, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Then he say, a real man pulls out chairs for a woman. Then the women like, yeah. They get loud, they clapping, they standing up, they all in their Muslim joints, you know what I'm saying? They got the white quilts on and all that stuff. I don't know what they call, I know they ain't called quilts, but they got the women's Muslim regalia on, and they like, yeah, da 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 da. Then the guys like, yeah, we open up doors, yeah, we hold out chairs. So he go to the women's side, because in the mosque, the women and men are separated. They don't sit together. So the women are on one side, the men are on the other side. So he go to the women's side like, I got one for y'all women. Y'all gonna love this one. Y'all gonna really love this one. Like, hold on. I got y'all. He go to the men. A real man pay all the bills. When he said that shit, the women like, yeah. The dudes over there like, the fuck? Like all the dudes got quiet. You know what I'm saying? It was fucking hilarious. I'm sitting there dying laughing. I'm like, oh shit. But you know, like I feel them, you know what I'm saying? I feel them, you know what I'm saying? But the guys over there, they was looking like, and then he looked like, oh, you see that, ladies? You see that, ladies? He called the men out on their shit, like boom. You know what I'm saying? But it was funny though the way he did it. Like the way he did it, the guys was looking crazy, but at the same time, you know, he did it in a cool type way. You know what I'm saying? It didn't. I didn't get the impression that the guys felt bad, but they was like, oh man, what's up, man? Da, da, da. But you know, it is what it is, man. Me personally, I don't have no issue with paying all the expenses in no shape, form, or fashion. But I wouldn't hold that as a standard. You know what I'm saying? Or if it is a standard, I wouldn't hold it as a standard that was contingent upon like, if you can't do that, then we can't do anything together. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't hold it to that high of extent. You know what I'm saying? Because you know where we at, and just where we at as a people. You know, a lot of people, a lot of dudes just don't got it. You know what I'm saying? They just don't got it. You know what I'm saying? And it's a lot of people out here who it's a lot of men and women who just don't got it. You know what I'm saying? And by putting y'all stuff together, you know, it's only gonna be beneficial for both of y'all. You know, now if you guys could work your way up, or the guy works his way up to where you guys are working together and it's kind of a 50-50 thing, or a 60-40 thing, or a 70-30 thing, and you guys work and you know, you hustle, boom, do your thing, and it gets to a point where he can handle all the expenses, then that's dope. And then I think she should, in one regard or another, invest the money in some shape, form, or fashion to whatever savings that they could have could be triple, double, triple, you know what I'm saying, to work in their benefit. You know what I'm saying? But very charismatic speaker. I got to you know, I didn't get to speak with him, but I got to talk to him. I didn't get to chop it up with him. I got to have a short back and forth with him. You know what I'm saying? We took a picture. I supported, grabbed a couple of his books, and that was it. It was a dope event though. Real dope event. I look forward to, you know, I seen a couple of his speeches. I seen some of the Breakfast Club interview, seen some other speeches that he did. And from what I heard, you know, I can get with it. You know, with me having the organization One Nation, I'm definitely interested in linking with all factors of the black diaspora, all across the board. That's why it's One Nation Elites, across the board. We gotta, anything that we got a difference about that ain't pertaining to what we know that we all agree upon, then we need to set that to the side and move forward on what we agree upon. And we all know what we agree upon. That is a universal, national understanding. So all that other shit, we need to nip it in the bud. I ain't trying to hear it. You know what I'm saying? That's how One Nation moving. That's how HG moving on that. You know what I'm saying? But that's it, y'all. You know, I think I did it. I think I did it justice tonight. I think I did it justice tonight. You know, we did a um, did a nice little compact thing. So, One Nation is my organization. I'm asking that you guys support. You know, we're doing a youth development center. We're doing a self-sustainable land. We have our Black economic database that we're building. I'm asking you guys to send your donations to Ears to the Street, my media company. Um, you know, if you're supporting Ears to the Street, donate and put Ears to the Street. If you're donating for One Nation organization, then put One Nation. You know, leave some form of contact in some shape, form, or fashion. We're in the process of developing the website. So, you know, we're building the infrastructure. We need you guys' support. We need the community to support our efforts. Our first main project right now is the Youth Development Center. We want to have a place where children can come, learn, have a sense of belonging, have a staff that cares, is genuine, geared toward, you know, uplifting, giving these our young black girls and our young black boys confidence, self-esteem, learning activities, you know, giving our youth everything they need to be productive black nationalist. Productive black nationalist. That's what we're on. Productive black nationalist. That's what we're pushing. Okay? So know that when you're dealing with One Nation. But we're signing off. Thank you for logging on. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. I am your host, HG. This is Ears to the Street Media, where fact and entertainment meet. And we out.